No, it occurred to me that I've never really told the whole connected story about why I speak Irish and Ulster Irish specifically, so I'm going to do that. It started in about 2019, I think. I'm part of this Facebook group that every quarter of a year, we all vote on a language that everybody in the group has to learn, and we can only communicate in that language for a certain amount of time. Now, leading up to deciding what language is going to be, there's all these campaigns for certain languages that people want everybody to learn. So people are running ads, trying to persuade everybody. It's actually crazy, and this happens for like about a week. At the end of this period, a language is chosen, and it's the one that we all have to learn. Now, one of the rules was that after a language won, a language from that family could not be chosen again for, I think it was up to 2 voting periods later. Eventually, we had kind of run through everything, and the vote came down to Celtic languages, and it kind of filtered down to Irish. We were campaigning for Irish pretty hard. You know, I didn't know anything about Irish, but I saw people voting for it, so I was like, why not? I never even thought about learning that language. But there were so many people that were like, why Irish? That's so useless. Why would you want to learn a useless language? You're gonna just give up on it anyway. So that just kind of like motivated me more. And as I've said before, my main motivation for learning Irish in the beginning was pure spite. Now for the period of insanity, I discovered that Irish was on Duolingo, and you know, at the time I was just like, it can't hurt. At least I'll be somewhat acquainted with the grammar after all this. What I did not realize is that this would become an almost unhealthy obsession for a number of weeks. Eventually, I got to the top of the leaderboard, and I wanted to stay there. So for weeks, I worked to stay there. It wasn't really that hard because Irish as a language is very easy to learn on Duolingo grammatically, just because it is so regular. There came this time where I was in competition with somebody for the leaderboard. I'm pretty sure that it was some kind of bot from the Philippines, because this thing had me working night and day to stay at the top. I would stay up till 5 o'clock in the morning doing Duolingo. I would do it in between my breaks at work. I would do it on dog walks. I would do it during my workouts. I was doing everything I could to stay at the top of that leaderboard, and it borderline became unhealthy. I was flying through these exercises, getting hundreds and thousands of points on Duolingo. It was insane for a long time. And that's when I found Irish on TikTok. And finding Irish on TikTok was a godsend, because that's when I found Paul. And this man kind of changed the Irish language for me forever, because he introduced me to a video series on YouTube called Now You're Talking. And I fell in love with this series. It's like 32 episodes in it. I never had like a language learning video series help me so much as this one did. So, Martin, it's in fact I'm about to Gaelic Arch. That's the reason I can speak Irish. So if you really want to learn a language, become obsessed about it.